Hi there. Welcome to today's webinar. I'm making the most of Showcase with version 10. I'm so happy that you're able to join. Our agenda for today is quite full, but hopefully you enjoy the topic as much as I know I'm going to enjoy presenting it for you. My name is Brandy Lulling, and I am the support manager for the BI support team. And I've been with Fortra for just about 19 years now, and the majority of that time has been working with our BI tools, which includes both Showcase and SQL. And I am truly excited to share Showcase version 10 with you. So let's go ahead and get started. Showcase 10 is a powerful yet user-friendly BI tool that allows your IT and business staff to create and deploy some pretty exciting reports with truly just a few clicks of the mouse. Improving on the offerings of version 9, Showcase 10 provides multiple new data consumption options that provide true data empowerment. Whether you're creating views or queries, as you may be more commonly referred to, pivot tables, executive reports, scripts, dashboards even, you can do all of this very quickly over data from your local or remote IBMI systems, or any number of other databases. Your staff can create, access, deploy, and analyze your live data using our Windows interface that we call Viewpoint, or they can easily access data through a browser using our web interface. If you have users who prefer working in Excel, version 10 also has a great add-in solution, very similar to what you're may be familiar with in version 9 of Showcase. Now, version 10 is command-driven, which is something new for you. That means that you can easily schedule your queries or reports or tables to create and deploy output as you need. It also means that commands can be added to do the same to either CL or RPG programs. Now, if you are going to schedule, you can use either the IBM Job Scheduler, the basic job scheduler or advanced one, or even Robot Schedule. Showcase 10 brings several new features, and I will get those demonstrated for you here in just a moment. You can now create dashboards, pivot tables, and executive reports. You can also use our dynamic or our application-based drill down feature to further dig into your data and empower your end users. Also, you no longer need to install or maintain Showcase on each user's PC because you can, the users have the option to do all of that deployment through the web interface. And I will show that to you as well. Now, using the Showcase migration utility, converting the existing Showcase objects that you have to version 10 objects is going to be really easy. So your DBQs are going to migrate to views, your RPTs will migrate to client reports, and your warehouse builder definitions and sets will become scripts. We even have a process, a pretty easy process, honestly, to update your existing Excel workbooks that you have your Showcase add-in for to the new version. So I did want to take just a second and point out a few things that are going to be coming soon. This is going to be within our new release that should be here mid to end next year, in 2024. So we are going to get an updated look and feel for Viewpoint. The functionality is going to be the same behind the scenes. It's just going to be a more updated, refreshed look. And the dashboards are also going to get a new refresh. So what you're going to see today, again, the functionality will be there, same ease of use, great tools that are available for you just a little bit different on how they look and feel. Biggest announcement I want to make is that we are going to be changing the name. Showcase 10 has essentially always been sequel under the covers. So we are going to kind of rip those covers off, and with the new version for next year, Showcase is actually going to become sequel, and it will be sequel version 12. You won't have to do anything. If you're on Showcase 10 right now, it will just be a simple product upgrade. Otherwise, it would be the same type of migration using that migration utility I just spoke of. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get into a demonstration here. Give me just one moment. So we are in Viewpoint now, or the Showcase 10 client, and the first thing we have to do, of course, is to log in. Now, with this version of Showcase, you do have several different options for your authentication provider. I'm going to just be using the IBM i system, but as you can see from our list, you have the option of Active Directory, JDE, to the local server, or any number of IBM i systems, which is what Wisdom also is. Once you're logged in, you'll be able to access the repository. And this is all stored on the IBM i system, which I know is a bit different for you Showcase 9 users. Everything is going to be stored in one location, but it can be broken into different folders and subfolders and so on. The security that you can add is very robust and yet very easy to set up. So if I were to log in here with a different user profile, you would see there's actually several different repositories and many more folders and subfolders available on the system. It's just that the profile I use, called Demo, doesn't have access to those, so I can't see that information. In the center section is a list of all of the existing objects that have been created through the product or migrated from version 9. And then up here in the current folder, you'll see exactly which folder or subfolder I'm in. Now, to display the results of a view, and again, views and queries are the same thing, all we have to do is double click on it. So we'll highlight this one first. Just like in version 9, this is live data, up to the date live data. And as you want to see, however you want to format the output, you can. So if you wanted alternating row colors, you could do that. If you wanted a different font or different font size, all of that customization is available for you. Now, because this particular view is a grouping view, we can tell because of the summary level information that we have here, we do have the availability to do our dynamic drill down. So this does not take any other setup other than the fact that the view is a grouped view. And what this allows us to do is to empower your end users to dig into their data if you would like them to do so. So we'll just pick a few fields here, and we are going to run a new view or query again behind the scenes and pull in that data for you. Now, if you like what you see, you can always take this result and create a new view from it. So you kind of work backwards that way. Or you can continue to drill in. The other option is a regroup. So we're taking this data that we have now and we're going to just group it a different way. Maybe instead of by salesperson, we want to see it by state. Again, we've got the same results. So if we click on the column heading, we can see at the bottom what the total is. And if we do that for available credit, you'll notice that the total's the same. Again, because it's the same records, just grouped a different way. Now, just like in version 9, version 10 has several different available runtime prompts. particular view has several of them included. If you're prompting on a date, you can choose from a calendar. This is a date range, a from and a to date. You can have drop-down lists, and these results can be either something that the view designer created manually by manually entering some values. We can pull from another view or write from another database file. Your users can do some manual typing. Now for those of you that are currently on Showcase 9, you'll recognize the star all is a little bit different. So that is going to be what we use to retrieve all of the records for that given parameter, such as the customer number. One nice thing about these two, and I know this is happening because I'm the one who set up this view, is that these two variables are filtered. So instead of using all customer numbers, say I want to find records or information just for this particular customer. I don't want to have to guess and pick and choose which order number goes with that customer number. So with some very easy setup in the design, I just have filtered. So now all of these order numbers I know for sure go with that customer number. So now when we display this set of results, we're going to get a larger result set because that's how this view was defined. And scroll down and we can see that we have grand totals at the bottom. Now you can also add subtotals and you can choose where the subtotal breaks. Maybe you want it at the customer number or at a date, whatever your needs are. All right, so those are the types of report objects, I should say, that your DBQs will migrate to. If you have RPT objects, they will migrate as client reports. And this is actually a collaboration between us and Crystal Reports. So you can make some pretty fancy reports, your executive level reports. It's going to give you a header, detail, footer type object. As you can see, you can add charts and graphs. Excuse me, you can add color, highlight whatever you need to do. You can add formatting. The sky's the limit basically with these types of reports. And this is going to come from your RPT objects. All right, so let me take you into the design of one of our views, our queries, so you can see what it looks like behind the scenes. So I'm going to go ahead and open up, let's see, this template view. I'm going to choose this one just because it's kind of involved. Now with version 10, there's several different ways for you to set up the design of the view. There's several different interfaces. Each user can have their own customization. So you can decide if maybe your more power users will have access to the SQL and the files and fields tab. And then maybe some kind of intermediate type users might use the view builder. And yet others that are more basic users maybe are templates only. So if you choose to, you like typing, you know SQL, I always like to say go for it. Feel free to do some typing, but you certainly don't have to. You can use the Files and Fields tab and enter all of this graphically. All of these boxes are the same as your from statement. This is where the files are coming from. The lines represent the joins. Every change that you make on files and fields is immediately reflected on the SQL tab. These columns are going to be what's displayed. And then you can add custom formatting to your decimal fields. And you also have 3 different lines for creating customized headers. So maybe you want it to say customer instead of cust. Changes like that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and exit out and then show you other options. Instead of double clicking to display the results, you can do so directly in Excel. So if you know you're creating an Excel from the results anyway, no reason to do those extra steps and display the results and then create the Excel. You can do it all in one step. Or you can save the results directly to a PC file, including Excel, PDF, text, HTML, you name it, any type of output, basically, we can help you create. As well as to a physical file, IFS document, or if you have a remote database connected and defined through the Showcase 10, we can write that data to there. We can also help you email the results, and you pick the output type, and we can help you print as well to either an output queue on the IBMI or to the PC. Now, all of these options that I just went over are also available if you're in design mode. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open up a view again because I want to go back and show you the view builder. And we'll pick one that's a little bit less involved. So again, View Builder is just another way, another interface that we have for your users to create your views, and it was actually created and modeled after Showcase Query. So it's more of a wizard type feel. One tab is your files, and then you choose your fields and filters and so on. Now again, with Showcase 10, each user has its own set of defaults. So if your accounting department, for example, are all more familiar with this or more comfortable creating views with this type of interface, you can set them up to use this, but maybe your reporting staff wants to use the other interface. That's absolutely fine. The third option that we have as far as an interface goes for view creation are templates. And again, this would be customizable if you want your users to be template users only. So they wouldn't have the option for the view designer or view builder. It would be strictly template use. So in here, we've already defined a view. We've customized the column headings. We've created the joins. We don't have to worry about users accessing fields or records that they shouldn't, because all of that's been taken care of for you by someone who created this template view. And then those users would just come in and choose by the column description instead of field name. They have some flexibility as far as what they want to do with those results. You can add conditions here if you would like, and you can even set them up for variables. So behind the scenes, this is going to create a SQL statement. Template users will be able to see the statement, but not necessarily edit it. And then they'll be able to display, save the view, or save it as Excel, and so on. So those are all the different ways we have to design new or, yes, I want to exit. So, sorry, those are all the ways we have to create new objects or edit existing ones. The next thing I want to do is show you our web interface. So let me flip over to there real quick. Okay, so we are in our web interface product now, and we still have to log in. Just like Viewpoint, you have your choice of authentication provider, and all of the authority that comes into play, all the security that comes into play with Viewpoint does the same through the browser. There is an administrative user that at least one person will need to know the password to, and that's who would set up all of that security as well as different folders and so on. Feel of the web interface is really pretty much the same as Viewpoint. tried to keep it as similar as possible. All of the functionality that you can do in Viewpoint as far as deployment goes can be done in the browser. Now you can't, the only way to do design work though is through Viewpoint. The browser is only for deployment. So if we have dashboards, for example, or if you want to display your views or reports, all of that can be done through the browser. Now the dashboards are, I'm just going to say it, they're pretty fun. They're fun to create. You can be as robust or as minimalistic as you would like. Obviously, colors you can choose on your own. Lots of different types of charts and graphs and digital gauges, or you can have raw data. Now, something else that can be added to a dashboard that I actually don't even have on this one, and I probably should go back and add one, is what we call an action button. So a lot of our customers actually end up creating graphical menus, if you will, and it's just a dashboard full of action buttons. So it'll run this report, it'll email that report, it'll FTP this view results to some other location, what have you. Lots of flexibility, really easy to set up and a lot of fun to do it. Everything that you run through the browser, we're going to create a tab and we'll leave that tab open so that you can come back to it at some point in time without having to rerun it all. Client tables are something that I kind of alluded to early on, and this is going to give you your end users the ability either through Viewpoint or the browser to do some pivoting. So very similar kind of feel to the Excel pivot tables, but a little more robust. These can also be saved to work with offline. So if you don't have access to your network, you can still do your data analysis. Drill down is available here by just simply double clicking, and you'll be able to see the results that make up that particular cell. And you can pivot columns in and out. And to be honest, these are kind of fun to work with too. Lots of different options and functionality. You can do some customization, you can do some filtering. Maybe we just want to see these users. Whatever you need, you can get it through the client table. And again, these are available in Viewpoint and in the browser. Okay. All right, so let's go back into Viewpoint. And I'm going to show you how to do the actual migration. Got just a few minutes left, so I want to make sure that that gets done. All right, so with the migration utility, we have an import option. And you can import either a single DBQ or an RPT file. So we'll start with doing a single one. Oh, look at that. I was practicing earlier, so it remembered where I was. Just choose the DBQ you want to migrate. And then you tell us where you want it migrated to. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it in the main repository folder so I can find it easy again. And then when you click OK, you need to map the data source. So this one was coming from a Showcase 9 IBMI connection. And we want to keep it the same. It's just going to be called local sys. All right, so now we have converted our date PRMT DBQ, and we should be able to go out and refresh the repository, and it's here and available to run. So when I said it was pretty easy to do, I truly meant it. It'll run just like that. Now, if you want to do an entire folder, you most certainly can. That'll make things even easier. So instead of picking just a single DBQ or RPT, you can point it to an entire folder of them, and then again, pick where you want it to be migrated to. We'll just, again, select the main repository. Now this time you may end up with multiple data sources to map, and it's okay that they all map to local sys. The only time you would want to change this is if it's a remote database. So maybe your query was defined over a Microsoft SQL database or an Oracle database, then you would want to map that appropriately. So that takes just a couple seconds longer, obviously, because there's several more DBQs to migrate, and conversion successful. So now we can see right away we've got not only the date prompt, but we've got this one, and so on, that all used to be DBQs, and now they are VPT views. This does not affect your existing DB2s your DBQs at all. Your queries and your reports will still be there, but they are not linked. So if you go back and make any changes now that it's been migrated, you would want to make changes in both versions. Okay. Great. Okay, so that was a lot of information in a really short amount of time. Hopefully you're excited about version 10 and what we have to offer. If you have any questions at all, or want a longer demonstration, please don't hesitate to reach out to support and we can help you get that done, or also to your account executive, and they'll be able to help for sure get that set up. A couple quick questions that came in during the session. Thank you so much for that. First question was, how long does it take to do the migration from 9 to 10? Honestly, the official answer is it depends. It depends on how many objects you need to migrate, where they're all located, if you can, if you have a good handle on what needs to be migrated and what, and when. We here are able to offer services to do that. We've created or completed several migrations for different customers. We've gotten it down to about, we say about 10 minutes per DBQ. That includes debugging anything and, migration, debug, and test. So again, if that's something you would be interested in, we most certainly would be happy to talk to you about getting services set up for your environment to do so. And let's see, how much does it cost to migrate? Seeing as I'm in support and not sales, I'm going to leave that answer to one of your account executives. I most certainly can have someone reach out to you, though, after the session today, and they can discuss the numbers with you. Oh, really good question. Since Showcase is being renamed to SQL next year, will you be able to go from or migrate from Showcase 9 to SQL 12? And yes, absolutely. Nothing, no steps in between. It'll be a direct migration path. All right, really great questions. If you have any more, or I wasn't able to get to yours, please don't hesitate to send your questions in. You can contact us in support, either by sending an email to support.showcase@fortra.com, or you can submit a case through our community portal, or give us a call. We'd love to talk. All right, thank you again so much for joining. Really do appreciate your time. And again, I hope you enjoyed the information about Showcase 10. There's a lot more available. We kind of only scratched the surface today. So reach out again if you have any questions. Have a great rest of your day.